So I think the most important things don't.
Marina Terra Hotel and Spa, San Carlos, Sonora, Mexico. The action being brought to you by Roy Jones Jr. Promotions in association with De La O Promotions and being sponsored by Fusion CBD Products. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be entertained. This is the main event of the evening. Damas y caballeros, llegó la hora. Veremos quién es el más macho. Este duelo, this round, 10 rounds for the vacant WBC Youth Lightweight Championship. Supervisor, Abraham Ibarra. Our judges are Gilberto Cota, Adrian Mesa, and Antonio Orona. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge of the ring, referee Gabriel Lopez. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing black with gold trim. He weighed in at an official 134 pounds. He enters the ring in his 12th pro bout with an outstanding record of 10 victories against 1 lone defeat, 3 of those victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of Culiacán, Sinaloa, Mexico, Jose Luis Cuate Vazquez. His opponent in the red corner, wearing red with silver trim, he weighed in at an official 135 pounds. He enters the ring, an undefeated professional with 7 victories, 6 of those victories coming by way of KO. Representing la Colonia Cajeme, Ciudad Obregón, Sonora.
¿Estamos de acuerdo? Choque guantes, suerte y que gane el mejor.
Gabriel Lopez getting our main event assignments. It is Jose Luis Vazquez fighting out of Culiacán, Sinaloa, taking on Luis Torres. TJ DeSantis, James Smitty Smith, ringside here tonight in San Carlos, Mexico for RJJ Boxing. And here we go, we are underway. Jose Luis Vazquez in the black with gold, Luis Torres in the red with silver.
And Torres, the Korean, off the southpaw style. He's not Korean, but he calls himself the Korean. We asked him why. He said, I look like a Korean. That's what he told us. So we'll go with it. Nice right jab he has. Interesting young man. Very cerebral. We'll see how cerebral he is as a fighter.
Think about these young men, 18 years old and 21 years old, finding themselves in the main event. Wasn't scheduled to be a main event just a few days ago. These bright lights burn a little bit hotter, I think, when you're in it for the first time on a stage like this.
They both turned pro in 2017. Again, they're really 6- and 8-round fighters at the best is where they should be. Certainly not 10 rounds. But opportunity presents itself. You're in condition, can only help you, and you're evenly matched.
Right.
That's the most important thing in this type of a situation, is not to get thrown in there, you know, perhaps like Vazquez was against Dominguez. You can't predict those things, but with 2 young guys like this, where you don't want them to get blown away early in their careers or get psychologically damaged, let alone physically damaged, it's good that they're evenly matched.
The action fast and furious here in this first round. You can hear the building coming alive. The corner's very loud. This is an interesting fight when you think about where we are. 2 Mexican fighters in the main event, but no crowd here, Smitty. It's quite a bit different when you don't have the fans here, Roaring.
I agree, and you know, I've watched some of the boxing action that has taken place. I can tell the fighters that are fueled by the crowd and the others that pay no attention to it at all. You know, you shouldn't be concerned with it because of the focus that this sport takes. Again, you don't play boxing, but nevertheless, certainly fans. Oh, nice shot there, straight left there by Torres, off the southpaw style. But yeah, it's a difference, no doubt about it.
You see these guys stepping on the gas pedal here early. And, you know, that's one thing you need to think about, too. No fans. It's not a sparring match. It's still very much a fight, and these guys have come to fight.
And I see some good offensive stuff by both guys. Both Torres and Vazquez are throwing some nice shots. What I don't see is upper body movement and head movement. Finally, some little...
Oh! Beautiful right hand! floors Vazquez. Wow. That came out of nowhere.
He's in a lot of trouble. That's what I was mentioning, the defense. That's what I didn't see.
Short on time here, Torres going back to work. Another right hand finds a home. First round down. What a statement by Luis Torres.
Well, as I was trying to say, these guys need to work on head movement, and if you don't, this is what can happen. Now, Torres was just starting to use some side-to-side movement, shoulder movement, head movement to set up what produced the knockdown. If anything, he should, go lower. He's got to step to the side and get out of there. There he goes. That's better. That's better. Get low like that.
When
he squares up like that, he's just putting himself in a lot of danger. Torres just looks to be the bigger, stronger guy.
Working the body is Torres. Uppercut by Vazquez.
Vazquez is coming back, and I like the fact that he's trying to work the body and trying to get his head off center. There, he finally did a little bit of head movement and slipped the shot. Torres doing a good job of being patient despite that vicious first round knockdown. He's patient, not wasting anything.
Halfway point here of round number 2. Now firing off that jab is Torres. Right hand misses and the left misses by Torres. Vazquez snuck in a left hand there. Eats a right though.
Better upper body movement, though. And Vazquez doing something now that I mentioned to you earlier, kind of accentuating his lack of height, going even lower to try to set up the body attack and get underneath the offensive onslaught of Torres, who produced that first round knockdown.
Nice left hand by Vazquez, but he eats a right from Torres.
I like what Vazquez is doing, but I think he needs to pick his opportunities to do it and not just stay in there at one point. Throw those kind of combinations, maybe back off and then come back in like that. He's having a pretty good round, especially considering what happened in the first. Nice double left hook by Vazquez.
Final 10 seconds here of round number 2. Nice bit of action there to end the second round. The main event spotlight on these up-and-coming fighters, one that they didn't expect to be in tonight, but they're using the most of it. You talk about opportunities, Smitty. They've both been given an opportunity to put on a show, and they're doing just that.
And I really like the way Vazquez comported himself in that second round. He really did a nice job of relaxing and getting back into the fight. He worked on the things that the problems he had in round 1 with upper body movement. He got into the inside swing and a miss there, but he would have a lot of opportunities and take advantage of stuff on the inside. Torres started out that round dominating, but as the round went on, Vazquez got right back in it. Throwing shots like that and digging to the body like that. I actually had that round even. So 10-8 first round, even second round. Primarily because Vazquez came on the second half of that round in a big way, especially with the body attack. And I pay attention to the body attack. Remember, folks, when you're scoring a fight, of course, it's clean, hard punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and something that is sorely lacking a lot, defense.
We'd love to see some scorecards of the fans online at Smitty Boxing, at TJ DeSantis. Use the hashtag RJJBoxing. Vazquez in the black with yellow. Torres coming forward in the red and silver. A shot to the body.
If I were Torres, I would start to utilize that height and reach advantage now and that athleticism. He's loading up a little bit too much on his shots. He's only been, I think, 4 rounds a few times. Neither one of these guys has been 10. Torres has been, I believe, 6 before. So, that could make a difference later on. All of a sudden you jump to 10 rounds.
That's a marathon. Nice bit of head movement here by Vazquez, trying to launch some strikes to the body and the head.
Bobbing and weaving and slipping, and now avoiding those big shots of Torres.
Just past the halfway point of round number 3.
From the outside, he lands a left uppercut. Vazquez does. Really turned it around here.
Definitely has. After that first round where he was dropped, maybe not many people believe this was in him, but on display here.
I love the bob and weave and stuff that he's doing. Again, I say it all the time of when you're a shorter guy, making yourself even shorter. Very few guys do it. I mean, you think of guys, obviously guys like Mike Tyson did it. Sweet Pea Whitaker did it all the time. And here he's doing it. He relaxed a little bit and got caught at the end of a shot by Torres.
Until that left hand, though, by Torres, there wasn't a lot that he's had for this posture of Vazquez moving forward with his head. He stopped it earlier in the fight, but Vazquez has a lot of game and some tactics in store still.
Yeah, I agree. I mentioned those 4 criterias, TJ, and I have a 5th that's my own. It's who's doing more of what they want to do. And that would be right now Vazquez, the shorter guy, who's on the inside, backing Torres up and not giving him the opportunities. You can see the confidence a little bit. That's a good move by Torres to spin off. Oh, nice looping right by Vazquez.
Final seconds here of round number 3. Hard right hand parried, though, by Vazquez to end the round. And this is a fun fight shaping up here, Smitty. I mean, after that first round where Vazquez was dropped, I think a lot of people might have been worried for him moving forward, but he's definitely game to come back.
Let me tell you what's gotten Vazquez back into this fight. Not only his toughness and the fact that he's a gutty guy because he got dropped hard in the first round, but basically defensive techniques, bobbing, weaving, slipping. Of course, after that comes the punches, but if he didn't improve that defense and tighten up that defense, he wouldn't even be here for that. And by the way, I had him winning that last round. There's a nice shot by Torres, but he didn't land a lot of them that round. Good right hand by Torres. That was blocked. And there's the body attack of Vazquez. Slips a shot. Blocks that shot.
We are headed into round number 4. Jose Luis Vazquez and Luis Torres, TJ DeSantis, James Smitty Smith. This is our main event of RJJ Boxing here tonight on UFC Fight Pass. A fun fight unfolding. Torres moving forward here, but Vazquez, after getting dropped in round number 1, has been very game and has started to turn the tide a bit. We'll see how things unfold here in the 4th.
The entire demeanor of Torres has changed. I can see it. Also saw him, his mouth is starting to open up just a little bit. So we'll see if we get into a few more rounds whether fatigue sets in at all. There's a nice combination by Torres. Still has the power. So Vazquez still needs to stay low and focus on his defense and focus on the body of the taller, lankier Torres. I like that. There was a little lull in the action, and he was able to just come right in without even throwing a punch. Nice combination, but I like to see him come in behind his jab.
Vazquez light on his feet, moving forward, moving back, side to side. Good movement here. Do you feel it's frustrating, Torres?
A little bit. I think the confidence has been. He's shaken the confidence of Torres because I don't think that Torres thought he was going to be able to survive that big knockdown in the first round. Good body shot by Vazquez. Yeah, the whole complexion of the fight has changed.
You can see Torres starting to turn up the volume here, but hasn't landed with the efficiency that he had earlier in the fight.
And you know what you learn about yourself, young guys like this, for example, a power punching guy like Torres. Yeah, you might have that power in round 1, 2, 3, and 4, but some guys don't carry it into a second half of a fight. And in a 10-round fight, if Vazquez is able to weather, which he has been, you know, we'll see whether Torres can carry that power. He may very well catch a second wind.
Yeah, I think we're learning a lot about these young fighters tonight in this main event, and I think they're probably learning about themselves a little bit here in this main event spotlight as well.
The aggressor now is Vazquez. He's coming back, and he's able to back up Torres. You just watch how he backs him up. Gets in position there. He's squaring up a little bit too much. See how he's using his elbows to back him up and try to set up those hooks to the body. Better job of picking off the shots of Torres.
Final 10 seconds here in this fourth round.
Wow. Going at it.
A lot of action here. Flurries on the bell. My goodness, what a fight. This wasn't the main event a couple days ago, but I have a feeling if this ended in 4 or 6 rounds, Smitty, we'd be arguing, hey, we want a couple more rounds. Well, we get him here tonight. This is a lot of fun.
It's already outdone the other fights.
Oh, my goodness.
But I like the way what's happening, too. You see a guy like Torres who comes and scores that big first-round knockdown. Looks like short night, quick night, another victory. Nope. Vazquez hung in there and has really composed himself and acted like a professional prize fighter. He's doing some stuff here. Maybe not at Julio Cesar Chavez level, but Chavez would enjoy some of this action on the inside. Digs an uppercut in there, slips a shot. Both guys come back. Both guys throwing punches. Ebb and flow action there. And jawing a little bit. Save the energy, young men.
A lot left to go here in our main event. 4 down, 6 to go. Round number 5 starts. Luis Torres, Javier Luis Vazquez. Torres in the red and silver. Vazquez in the black with gold. It was Vazquez that was dropped early in the fight, but he's been very game thus far, and this is a lot of fun. And like I said, it's not a cliche. There's a lot left to sort out between these two men here in our main event.
You know, Torres told us that he's trying to work on pacing himself, so he's going to get an opportunity now. I mean, actually, for him, I would try to make this a socially distanced fight by staying away and using the height and reach. That's what I would do if I were him at this point, to try to use that height and reach advantage, because on the inside, I mean, everything is Vazquez.
A socially distanced fight. That's in the book of Smittyisms, I think.
That's a new one for sure.
I like it. Copyrighted.
It's a nice combination by Vazquez. By the way, TJ, I have this fight dead even after 4 rounds. Wouldn't surprise me if the judges have it either way or slightly for Torres. Again, because of that big first round, that knockdown is still in the heads and the eyes of the judges somehow, but Vazquez has really bounced back.
You know, we talk about that knockdown early. Vazquez obviously was down in the scorecards, but as far as momentum and you know, his points have added up, where do you feel the momentum is right now? Who do you feel has the edge right now?
With the guy coming forward, Torres doing a good job this round of trying to keep it at a distance, trying to use his height and reach, but Vazquez is doing what he needs to do, and that's kind of make it an ugly fight. Like that. Stay on the inside, rough him up, stay in there, take away any of his advantages, and do just what he is doing.
Mixing it up, going to the body and the head is Vazquez. Torres prided himself on his fight IQ. He felt that would be an advantage the later this fight goes. But Vazquez has shown not only a fight IQ, but also the ability to stay composed after being hurt.
And that was a good body shot by Vazquez. Torres had landed some nice right hands, and there's a couple more. This is where, this is a point of a fight where if you're Torres, I think you think about you think about Tommy Hearns in his first fight with Sugar Ray Leonard, when he was the power punching guy, and he got hurt, and then he started using the height and the reach and got on the bicycle and got a big lead, although he would get stopped in round 14 of that epic classic. Sometimes you got to adapt, make adjustments.
Nice right hand there by Vazquez, finds a home, but Torres still game, but definitely that one got through. One on the bell there, I think, there by Torres, but this thing is just heating up. Wow. Halfway done here, Smitty. This is a main event that is surpassing the hype, I'll say it.
Well, I didn't really know what to expect because these guys are so young, and I had only seen just a tiny bit of footage on them, and they're facing each other, and which I love to see young guys evenly matched. You know, Guy Taylor does our matchmaker does a great job of putting this kind of stuff together, and it's always fun for me to watch the young guys when they have these good records, but they're fighting right away. And if they don't take these kind of opportunities, they probably aren't going to go to the next level. So it's important for them. You see Vazquez coming forward, throwing both hands, digging to the body, back up to the head, using the shoulders, better defense, nice combination slipped in there by Torres. I don't want to take away Torres has landed some really good shots as well. It probably looks a little, more eye-friendly to the judges. Friendly stuff, cleaner stuff, but I like the roughhouse and the tactics that Vazquez is utilizing.
He's been making it a gritty fight, to say the least, and that has benefited him thus far. And again, after the adversity he faced in the first round, maybe not many people foresaw this one, and now they're getting busy inside the clinch here.
Yeah, and this is uncharted territory for Torres. He's never been to rounds 5 and 6, let alone 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Right.
Vazquez hasn't been 10 either, but he has been 6. And with his style, those aggressive guys built low like that usually can go. He just looks to be the more comfortable of the two for me right now. See if Torres can land one of those, since he's not trying to get on the outside and use his God-given attributes. Let's see if he can land one of those big shots, because if not, I think Vazquez has found the home, and he's going to want to stay right there.
And Torres was able to have success early in the fight, dropping Vazquez. What does he need to do to get back to that? Is it something that he can do? Because obviously the power has subsided a little bit.
Well, I think he just did a nice move where he, spun off and he created an opening, but he wasn't able to finish it with a shot. He created an opening, but he wasn't able to land the shot, and that takes time. Later on in a career, if he has a lengthier career, he'd be able to make that move and then land that shot, depending on his opponent. But he's having some good moments right now. He's landed some clean shots. Vazquez coming in really squared up. And uppercuts would be a good weapon for Torres to implement right now into his attack. There he kind of threw a 45-degree angle. There's an uppercut. But Vazquez will discourage you. There's a good combination that stunned, I think, Vazquez for just a moment there by Torres. That was a good shot, a 1-2. But I don't think he needs to be languishing on the inside with this type of fighter. Just don't think that's where he needs to be. There, that's the move. Spin off and create something.
Now back at space, coming up on 30 seconds remaining here in round number 6. Looping right hand, misses by Vazquez. And back on the inside, throwing some shots to the body.
See, the way he's fighting right now, that posture is what Vazquez likes. He's right there. He doesn't have to worry about getting inside because Torres is allowing him to do it. And Torres is not going to win this fight Vazquez is not going to win this fight from the outside.
Vazquez eating some hard shots there by Torres. Torres ate a couple of Vazquez's coming the other direction, but solid end to the round there. Wow, 6 in the books.
This is not an easy fight to score. You had the first huge round for Torres, the 10-8 round, and then everything else has been a lot of Vazquez, but the last few rounds, ebb and flow action, and it's difficult to score. Depends on what the judges like.
In a close fight, looking at it moving forward, one of the litmus tests would be, who would you rather be? Who would you rather be right now heading into the latter part of this fight, Smitty?
Yeah, I think the demeanor, I would rather be Vazquez. I mean, who's the guy coming forward, again, doing more of what he wants to do, be on the inside, working the body. Again, all the physical attributes that we touched on go to Torres, but he's not really able to utilize them. And he's a good inside fighter, by the way. I don't want to take anything away from him, but I think this fight would be a lot better for him if he were on the outside using the jab. Neither guy's using the jab enough, the most important punch in boxing. They're sitting there posing, and neither guy threw a jab. There's a jab from Torres. And again, I would try to not let my back, if I were Torres, hit the ropes. Stay in the center of the ring and move around. Canelo Alvarez in that rematch with Gennady Golovkin did such a great job. I remember him telling me when I interviewed him before the fight that he was not going to let his back hit the ropes, and I think it only did twice during the entire 12 rounds. And a guy like Torres should not allow his back to touch the ropes. If he does spin off or hold on and keep this fight in the center of this, what looks to be a pretty large ring here.
Breaking the action here to give some attention to the glove of Luis Torres. All good, back underway.
Up, it came off again.
Nope.
The tape. One of my favorite things in life, TJ, is duct tape. And I think boxing, I've said it for years and years and years, needs to implement the duct tape, and this thing would never happen.
You know, I think I was 30 years old before I found out that it was duct tape and not duct tape like quack quack. You learn something new every day, Smith.
Flying with Keith Veltri one time to one of our shows overseas, and I spent an hour and a half telling him all the things you could do with duct tape. We won't go there, but
wow,
yeah.
I'll buy the book of Smittyisms. Chapter on duct tape. 2 minutes left here in round number 7. TJ DeSantis, James Smitty Smith. San Carlos, Mexico. This is our main event.
That was a nice hook there. Vazquez throws the right hook nearly as effective as the left hook off of the orthodox style. Again, Torres is southpaw. Saw him switch maybe just a couple of times during the fight. But again, has that height and reach, right? But where is he? He's leaning forward, down low, right there for the shorter guy who has the more compact punches to land those shots.
I mean, let's be honest, he's playing the game of his opponent.
Correct. You can hear that body shot.
Left finding home, and Torres trying to answer with one of his own.
That's interesting. Had there been a crowd, you may have not heard those shots, but boy, you can hear them without, and those were two of the hardest punches of the fight. Both body shots by Vazquez. Plants another one.
Oh, hard right hand there. Looks like maybe one caught him low. Referee checking in. And you bring up a good point. Fight night behind closed doors, Smitty. It's unlike anything a lot of fight fans have ever experienced.
Yeah, for all the boxing I've done, and from the time I was the little kid with Ali, I've never experienced anything like this. It's been a lot of work and determination by the team of RJJ to even make it happen. It's just not an easy thing to do. Nice combination, shoe shine by Vazquez, trying to steal the round.
Oh, these guys are throwing to the bell, maybe a little bit after the bell. The intensity and rivalry, I think, has been brewing and growing over the course of these rounds. And, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, Smitty. This is the first of 2 events coming up in San Carlos this week. We'll be back again Thursday night on UFC Fight Pass for more boxing action. But still, we have to sort this one out as we head into the latter part of this fight. 2 young men who are fighting for the first time this late, 10-round fight, now entering round number 8. What are we going to learn from these fighters here in these final 3?
I think the bottom line is stamina. You know, these last 3 rounds, who's going to have more in the tank? You can see that last round, again, was so close. It was back and forth. Look at the nice body shots by Torres, working the uppercuts. There's a big left hook by Vazquez, doing some slippage, and lands a right hand partially.
Round number 8 underway. Luis Torres Jose Luis Vazquez, TJ DeSantis, James Smitty Smith. San Carlos, Mexico tonight here on UFC Fight Pass.
Now, all that posturing and movement by Torres, which was really good, look at throw the jab. Let the jab go.
I think they might have heard you a little bit, though. I mean, they haven't followed the advice yet, Smitty,
Yeah,
but
I know it,
action right in front of us, quiet crowd. Nice left hand.
You know, the jab just makes it so much easier. I mean, I call it the can opener, the Swiss Army knife. It can do everything for you. And when you have I think he has a decent jab off of that southpaw style, the right jab, but he just tucks it in and doesn't throw it enough.
The jab is the duct tape of strikes.
Absolutely. There's some nice combinations by Torres. Vazquez comes right back. Good overhand left by Vazquez. Yeah, this is going to boil down to attrition, I think. I mean, they're just planting themselves in there. It was funny, they both had the mask on during the stare down or when they got their instructions, but I don't know, I guess they wouldn't have needed it because, man, they have been, look, right head to head. Unbelievable. Pretty much phone booth fight.
90 seconds left in this fight. We are in round number 8, and these guys putting in work. You can see it.
They've already probably gained more experience fighting each other, you know, these 8 rounds than they have with everything else they've done their entire career.
And the match is evident of that. Drenched in sweat. 1 minute still left to go here in round number 8.
And you know, they're kids. I mean, 18 and 21, but this is not sloppy stuff. I
Right.
mean, it's not wild and flailing and amateurish stuff. I mean, granted, they got a lot to work on,
Sure.
but it's quality stuff.
I'm having a heck of a time watching this. And again, shot of the mat there with the hard work on display. And these guys are really fighting in that proverbial phone booth.
This round's pretty much almost dead even. Who's going to win the last 30 seconds here? Could be one of those things of who's going to win the last 30 seconds. Right now, slight advantage to Torres, who's landed a couple combinations. Ducked under a shot there. And is that tape coming loose again on the glove?
It might be short time here in round number 8. They'll try to take care of that if they need to in between rounds.
Throw the jab. He could make this fight so much, I don't want to say easier, but cleaner.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything easy
jab
in this fight, but you are right. And that's what this fight is going to boil down to. Any sort of fight that goes long, it comes down to the fighter who makes the proper adjustments, and I think this is a learning experience for both of these young men, and they'll walk away, you know, one will walk away with a win, the other maybe not, but I think both will walk away with a lot of positives and things to work on in their boxing careers as they progress forward.
You know, yeah, a loss here doesn't mean anything.
No. So
many fighters are concerned today with a blemish, and it really doesn't mean a doggone thing.
You either win or you learn.
Yeah.
These are the official scorecards and judgments. Judgment 79 a 73, 79 to 73 in favor of Torres. Judge B, 76-75 in favor of Torres.
Are they giving the scores out?
I believe so.
Okay. I didn't know they were doing that. Okay. Well, I'll give mine. I have it dead even, 76-76. If I had to lean towards somebody, I would give it to Vazquez, but it is really close. It's really close. Nice jab. There, did Vazquez switch to southpaw there on us?
For a brief moment, he may have.
Yep, and he told us. Well, I'm looking at my notes. He did tell us doing it late in the fight. That could be. We'll see. Maybe he thinks it's the time to pull it off. But
back to orthodox now.
I would just keep doing the stuff that brought you here at this point, especially in uncharted territory. Never been, 9 rounds. Good body shot. And I think he sets his harder shots up off of that orthodox style like that. When he squares up like that, though, that's where Torres should throw the uppercuts. like we saw Jones Jr. doing in an earlier fight. Nice combination by Vazquez.
You see Vazquez still coming forward, trying to get on the inside, but his demeanor has changed a little bit, forced to react a little bit more, but now he's coming alive.
Vazquez more economical with his shots now, placing them better, like that right hand to the body. Not throwing as many, but he's really trying to work on really loading up on his shots, placing them hard. That's a slip.
A little bit past the halfway point here of round number 9. There's a lot of volume here by Torres, but a nice right hand by Vazquez.
Yeah, he's picking off most of those shots. We'll see if the judges, how they see it. I mean, Torres letting his hands go, but everything's being blocked, and Vazquez trying to plant and throw the harder, more effective, meaningful shots.
It's not ideal, but maybe Torres feels that a quantity over, a quality approach is what he needs to do here.
It may work for him. Try to steal the rounds. Try to, like that, shoe shine, especially if you have your corner yell in the last 30 seconds and you do the shoe shine effect.
Torres looking confident here. A lot of head movement. A couple punches find a home. Final 10 seconds here of round number 9. Nine down, 1 to go. This our main event. Luis Torres, Jose Luis Vazquez. Been really in store for a treat here. It's been a lot of fun. One more round yet to go. A very close fight, Smitty. How do you see it through 9?
I have a slight advantage to Torres. I have him up by 1 point. But I tell you what, again, in this one, flip a coin.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th and final round.
I gave that round to Torres because of what you were mentioning, the volume, the accumulation of the shots. He was letting his hands go. Vazquez was trying to land the more meaningful shots, but in doing so, Torres probably stole that round. Thus, I give him a 1 point lead. But again, this the fact that Vazquez has bounced back after that first round, right? And
100%.
Could go either way, though. The judges here might like the, again, the inside work of Vazquez. We'll see. Up for grabs, I'd say, TJ.
And I'll say the real winners of this one, I think, is you and I ringside and the worldwide audience watching on UFC Fight Pass. RJJ Boxing back for the first time in a long time, and it's been a great night of action.
And we'll be back at it again Thursday with Barajas and Resendez, 2 guys that are much like these guys. Young guys, unbeaten, identical records going at it, so that's really cool. Looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds here.
A lot on the line between these 2 young men. 21-year-old Jose Luis Vazquez, the 18-year-old Luis Torres.
Now he's using the jab. Round 10. I won't use the old cliche, though, that I hated that some of the boxing, inexperienced boxing, it's going to be who wants it the most. No, both of these guys want the damn thing, so it's just going to be who implements his game plan the most. That was a nice right now it's Torres, though. He's landed some effective shots, placing his shot, good move to jump out, use that jab early. There's a nice little combination. Tell you something, both of these guys have proven something to themselves as far as stamina, too. This has to feel good. It's one thing to go 10 rounds in the gym and sparring, but when you do it in a fight under the lights.
Real-life application, nothing beats that.
So, with all the people watching around the world, you've got an almost living legend and Smitty down here at ringside, calling the action. So it's a lot of pressure, TJ. A lot of pressure.
You get a source on that, or no? Fake news? No, it's real news. Left hand grazes the chin of Vazquez.
That was a powerful shot by Torres.
Would love to hear what the fans are thinking all around the world. At Smitty Boxing, at TJ DeSantis on Twitter. Use the hashtag RJJBoxing.
Well, they got to be enjoying this. You know, we had some quick fights earlier, but this is kind of made up for it.
100%.
You know, especially when it's two kids like this. I love it. 18 years old, Torres, 21 years of age, barely legal guys.
A lot on the line here between these two young professionals. There will be a winner, there will be a loser, but honestly, I think everyone watching, I think both of these men for competing, it's a moral victory and one that can be shared by all because this has been a lot of fun. Final 30 seconds left in the fight.
I really like the way Torres has fought this 10th and final round. There's what I wanted him to do earlier. Look at that. What is that? 4 straight left, 3 or 4 straight left hands. And Vazquez has no answers this round.
Final 10 seconds. Torres coming alive. Vazquez winging some punches back in kind. Oh, hard right hand. Bound to home for Vazquez. 10 rounds in the books. My goodness. What a fight.
That was good stuff.
Well worth the wait, Smitty. It's been a long many a month since you've been back on Fight Pass, and tonight RJJ Boxing takes center stage, and we were treated to, honestly, one of the better fights you can ask for, given the situation. 18 years old, 21 years old, main event spotlight for the first time. They used the stage and the platform quite well.
Yeah, I did, and they learned something about their opponent. Obviously, Torres learned something about Vazquez. Vazquez learned something about Torres, which is cool. But more importantly, most importantly, they learned something about themselves to be able to fight another guy basically equal, same point in their careers, and to be able to jump step, forget about the 8-round fights, and jump up to a main event, 10-round fight, and to fight this well. And Vazquez, a lot of credit for bouncing back after that early knockdown to get back in the fight. He kind of controlled some of the middle rounds, and Torres did a really nice job of bouncing back later on, and I had him winning the last few rounds to ultimately win the fight by a couple of points on my card.
And
but it could go either way.
One thing that you said earlier, too, is, a lot of young fighters worry about coming up short and losing a fight and what impact and effect that can have on their career. Honestly, whoever gets their hand raised here, well-deserved.
Yeah.
And whoever walks away with the L, again, I don't think it's a bad thing.
No,
I think
the loser, nothing, not a damn thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it. And if they go back and they do the smart thing and watch film of this fight, they'll both be able to see the things that they can, work on to improve. By the way, a draw wouldn't surprise me either, but I do have Torres winning. But I guess we'll find out.
We shall find out. The judges have rendered their decision. It lies with Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're going the distance here at the Marina Terra Hotel and Spa. San Carlos, Sonora, Mexico. We go to the scorecards to determine a winner. Judge Adrian Mesa scores about 79-72. Judge Gilberto Cota, 76-73. And Judge Antonio Orona scores about 77-72 for the winner. By way of unanimous decision, and now, the WBC Youth Lightweight Champion, Puro Colonia Cajeme, Luis Coreano Torres.
Confused on the scoring there.
Luis Torres gets it done, and the judges sided with him. Not surprised that he won the fight, but in the margin that he did, he really set a pace with the judges.
Did I hear something wrong? Did I hear 70? It's a 10-round fight. Maybe I heard the score.
I'm not good with math, Smitty.
Well, no, it's not the math. It's the math because you don't have a 70-something thing at 10-point must system.
Right.
So I don't get the scoring. But anyway, they had the right winner.
Right,
I thought Torres won the fight down the stretch. The last couple of rounds, he did what he had to do. He had the big first